As with the vertex menu, we'll find that many of the entries here have been covered previously since they can be activated by alternative means, such as from within the toolbar. Where that is the case, we'll simply demonstrate the basic effect of the operation and give a reference to the previous video that covered that area in more detail. Extrude edges extrudes the selected edge or edges. As with all movement, we can use the Control key to toggle snapping and the direction keys X, Y, and Z to force the direction of the extrude. Remember to check which side of the new face is the front face and which is the back face, reversing this if necessary. Extrusion was covered in video 42. Bevel edges allows us to bevel an edge. Generally, we do this to achieve a rounder edge on an object. Beveling was covered in videos 44 and 45. Bridge edge loops joins the two separate edge loops by creating faces between the two groups. Ideally, the two loops should contain the same number of edges. Bridging was covered in video 40. Screw. This is the first of the new operations. In some respects, it is similar to the spin tool found in the toolbar, since it rotates an outline to create a solid shape. Details of the spin tool can be found in video 50. However, the screw tool is normally used to create spiraling objects such as screws or springs. To see how this command works, we'll start with the simplest shape that can be used, which is a single edge. In front view, with our edge selected, choosing Screw will create a single 360-degree rotation with the edge extruding and rising so that the final edge is exactly above the starting point. Blender calculates the vertical rise as the distance between the first and last vertex in the shape. Since we are in front view, the rotation we created was about the global Z-axis. In the last op panel, Steps sets the number of new faces to be created in a single 360-degree rotation. Turns sets the number of rotations to be produced, with each appearing above the last. Center has 3 fields, which define the center point of the rotation. By default, this is the location of the 3D cursor. The 3-axis value define the vector around which rotation occurs. The initial values are determined by our current viewpoint, so it's a good idea to be in a named viewpoint, such as front. If we enter a negative value for an axis, the rotation is in the opposite direction. If we adjust the shape of our outline, we can begin to see how we might go about creating the thread of a wood screw. By making one end of our profile nearer the rotation's center, we can create a shape that increases in diameter. But only when Steps is an odd number. However, there is a limiting rule that the shape we use must be open-ended. For example, if we try to use this operation on a circle, it will fail, giving us an error message. We could try removing one of the vertices in the circle. But although this works, the difference in height between each revolution isn't what we're likely to want. And this is because the distance between the first and last vertex is so small. We would have more success if we used a semicircle since we now have the required gap. Luckily, there is a way round the enclosed shape problem. Blender will rotate any object using the screw command, as long as at least one part of the object has an open-ended geometry. So, if we create a full circle and a simple line, Then join them together into a single object using Ctrl J. We can create a spring. And the gap between the first and last vertex of the single edge can be adjusted to control the separation in each rotation. If the open-ended part of the result is not required, it can be removed by using L to select it and then deleted.